Okay, well, good night, everyone, or good evening. I guess you don't start with good night, but yeah, welcome to second drawing live stream. All right, on Facebook and what do we got? Facebook Live and YouTube. I dropped Twitch because one of my Twitch streamer friends had let me know that they you can't do multi streams to Twitch and other platforms. So I had to drop that for the moment. But let me just get my camera going. Okay, there we are, and Cyril is already in the studio, of course, right, lady? All right, so got a couple of things on the board right now. Starting off with, of course, a couple of in-progress pieces here. All right, you got my Gwendolyn, which last week it was still in pencils. I was going to start inking it, and then everybody asked me to draw during the live stream. So, there it is. And then, of course, that medieval spawn is in progress, but one of my inker friends is going to be actually doing a test with that as well. And then, of course, we have the spawn, which is finally finished. I inked that during the week since the last live stream. Hey, Cyrilla. And so that is also on the table, which you can't see because Cyrilla's tail is in the way. But anyway, yeah, so those are some of the ones that are coming together right now, all right? And the spawn one, like a lot of the other superhero ones that I got going, those will be, of course, given computer colors. I'm going to computer color one of them. There's a Batman piece, which some people have seen because it was on my table live in person at some shows. And then, of course, there were the, some of the other pieces were done too. That will be the one that I'm going to be doing the colors for. I have a couple of other, computer colorists, some people that I've worked with before, some people I'm working with for the first time, that I'm going to have doing the coloring for those pieces. And some of those have come in already, and they're looking really good. So, you will be seeing those as prints probably at Terrificon next weekend, because I will be there. I forgot my artist alley table. A15, maybe? I don't know. Somebody had told me that. Was something close to that, A15 or something close. So anyway, yeah, let's get the Patreon supporters up, because I still don't have a proper outro or intro, okay? And actually, last week I had mistyped Misha Malcolm's name, so I got the second L in there, because I had forgotten to put that in. And then, yeah, so here we are. We got all these guns. So let's got a couple on that. Come on down here, lady. Okay, so yeah, last week I had been working on this Priyanki and Chadiana makeup piece. I finally inked it. It's all done. I'm just looking at my things here. All right. What? Okay. So yeah. Yeah, I had started inking it. I put down the, hey, Sorella, the initial wash. So that's all done. I might work on that a little bit during the live stream today. I had a request by my friend Steve, but if he doesn't show up, well, I might not work on that. And then, of course, I've got some other pieces here too as well that I want to get moving on, because I have Nisa and Ashley Riot from Vagrant Story, because that is a big, big inspiration for me as far as video games go. And then I wanted to get a Sydney Flastero done, but he's giving me a little bit of problems. So we'll probably start there, start it over. What's up, lady? Yeah, you hear me talking, and you feel like it's your turn to get all the attention. That's always how it goes, right? Okay, so let's get this going. Aha, we finally have someone in the viewing room, even though I've been talking this whole time. But, that's how it goes. Hey, Steph, how's it going? I saw that Phil's doing his Creator Con. Oh no, not Creator Con. That's not him. Is it him? Is Creator Con his? Steph's doing his live stream. Not Steph. Phil's doing his live stream tonight too. So, trying to sell some stuff. But I hope you and Carrie are doing well, right? Cats. Forget drawing. Show us the cats. Well, can't see her? Isn't her face like right in there? Yeah. See? Hello, Cirilla. Oh my God. Well, don't slide. No, you can get up there. Actually, it's funny. Funny you mentioned that stuff. I'm still finding good audio to put over it. It's probably going to be a cat purring. Oh, of course, she's like playing with that. Phil don't have cats. That's absolutely true. Oh my God. She's going. I got to hold this laptop here. She's going to knock it over. Yes, you do, Nancy. How's it going? Good evening. I wasn't sure if you were going to make it tonight because I know, yeah, she is really propped up precariously there. Oh, she made it. So, yeah, Cirilla, let's see. Yeah, Phil doesn't have cats, right? But no, oh, that's what I was saying, Steph. I think I might, once I get the hang of a little bit of editing and stuff like that, if I can get shots of, and she missed a little bit of this, I have guests. Oh, nice. Guesses and like furry guests, or you have like friends over, Nancy? I'm not sure. But yeah, I was thinking about getting video of her walking all over my artwork sometimes and uploading videos of the cat doing paintings. So if I can get that going, that would be, I think that would be like golden as far as, what do you call it? Things that people want to watch. I should probably like staying with me. Oh, I see. Yeah. Big yawn lady. She's off. Oh no, she was on camera enough that you could see her. Okay. Actually, I want to pull up some references while I'm working here because I'm finding that a little difficult. I know last time I said I couldn't, but I got the laptop set up better than I had last time. So I can actually open two windows over here. As you can see, if my friend Steve actually, oh no, did that go out? No, it didn't. Okay. All right, so it's still, no, it did. Oh, it went out, and now, uh-oh. Hang on. I gotta fix this camera here. I accidentally hit the button that knocks it out. How should I do this, All right, here we go. Maybe I should put it in the other way. Right. See that live stream mess up antics already. But anyway, yeah, I can, I don't want to show off my whole apartment over there. I'm trying to just get the laptop. But yeah, you can see I can get, oh, wait a second. Yeah, two tabs open at the same time so I can still keep an eye on what's going on in the live stream. And yeah, it doesn't seem to be taxing my, let's shut the ear. Internet so bad, so that's good. But anyway, yeah, I was going to do an M Bison piece if my friend Steve showed up, but I don't think he's coming, or he forgot, or he's got other things. Steve lives down in Florida with the other DeSantis, who I am not related to, but just throwing it out there. Anyway, all right, so let's get some references. I don't think that's still where I want it to be. I'm going to have to cat-proof this just so that she can't move it too much. I was playing with it for like 10 minutes before the live stream. I know this is like fascinating watching material, right? So anyway, all right, there we go. Move this over. Yeah, I have it where now the cameras, the front camera is facing me a little bit more. So that's good because that helps with the, of course, keeping an eye on me. Wish I could get that off of the bottom there, but that's fine. Anyway, cancel that. Wait, cancel. No, save the changes. Sorry, I was playing with the layout. Update layout. Yes. Okay. All right, let's take those banners. No, I can leave that one going, but I'll take this one off. All right, so let's get going with the drawing, because I know that's what Steph comes for, right? Look at this, by the way. Got my pencil. Sounds like my neighbors are running their sink right now. I don't know if anybody can hear that. And I got my utility knife. So yeah, last week I was talking about this is what I usually use for carving my my pencil. So yeah, I'm not going to be bringing this into a convention. You know what I mean? So that's why I switched over to using mechanicals most of the time. But actually, oh right, that's right, because I didn't want to look like I was totally uninformed. On the Ticonderoga pencil thing, I decided to look it up to see if I was mistaken. I was. They are still making it, but it was an Italian company that bought the Ticonderoga brand. I think they still have one office here in the US, maybe two, but essentially it's not an American company anymore. That's what I had heard. And so, yeah, they are still producing them. Hopefully is this the 1400s? You know what, Steph? It is, at least when I'm at the helm. I look at it. I'm 40. I should have been one of those people that was just working exclusively with digital. Although, on that subject, I do have some digital pieces that I'll be putting out. I was talking to basically the air before anybody came in, but Patrick, where's Patrick? I don't see Patrick in here. Where is he? She says hi. I do not see Patrick. Maybe you just like, ooh, Italian pencils, fancy. Yeah, Ticonderoga will now be Italian pencils. All right, I got to move my hairy arm across here because I got to type in for my back. I think Ticonderoga is near Venice. Well, Ticonderoga apparently, you know what? I can just pull it up on my screen real quick. Ticonderoga pencils, right? So it used to be the company was located in. Come on, I know it's really good to use like Wikipedia for this stuff, but it's just quick information. I'm going to take for granted. The headquarters were in Florida. Okay. Back to Florida, huh? No, okay. So it originates from the graphite ore discovered on Lead Mountain in 1815 and processed in Ticonderoga, New York. Yeah. So, but then, yeah, the FILA, a manufacturer of school and art supplies based in Milan, Italy, bought it out. And they closed the main factory, which was in Versailles, Missouri. But they do still have a headquarters in Heathrow, Florida. All right. Didn't think you were going to get this kind of education on the JM DeSantis live stream, but there you go. Okay. Also, the Dixon Ticonderoga Company was located in downtown Jersey City, New Jersey. There's some points for New Jersey there, right? Well, Steph, you used to live out here. Revolutionary Battle. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I know you and Carrie Ann like that kind of stuff too. Anyway, yeah, so there you go. That's the Ticonderoga update. Yeah, it's they're not gone. I don't know what the quality is. I know that my school is only buying, I think the brand is called Otero or something like that. I want to make a pun, Oterable, but they're actually not that bad. They're pretty good, but they're not Ticonderoga pencils. I guess everybody was just kind of worried that it wouldn't be the same, whatchamacallit. You know what? Why don't I just type in the character's name? Sydney Loss Tarot. Yeah, I feel overeducated, right? Well, that's what you get for coming on an educator's live stream. I will educate you. No, you know what it is? The truth of the matter is, Steph, I really like, what do you call it? I like history and stuff like that. I mean, other than English, obviously, since I do write, right? I would say my favorite other of the core subjects is definitely history. I just absolutely love history. So even little facts like that. Although my dad's known for really going in hard on some random facts on things, but he'll read up on anything, which is great. You get to hear all kinds of stuff coming from him. A character with their back facing to you, but whatever. We'll get this started. So anyway, yeah. Teachers, right. Let me go over to the chat real quick. So, I mean, actually, you know what? I could just put a banner up, right? That would make sense. Create a banner. Sydney. So anyway, let's put that up just so everybody knows what I'm drawing over here. Okay, so this character tends to have a very, he does. He has a very intricate and cool tattoo on his back. So, it's the one thing that I want to highlight. So it's a little bit different drawing a character from the back than it is from the front. And actually, you know what? It is worth mentioning real quick. I do tend to even on something that hopefully we can see that okay. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit. Okay. Banner creation, good art topic, right? Yeah, it is sometimes. All right, maybe I'll tone this down just a little bit. I'm still getting the perfect lighting and camera setup, right, for this thing. Let's say I just take down the light a little bit. Might make it a little bit easier. The words in your banner mean nothing to me. Well, the reason I said it is because that's the character that I was going to work on. Okay, so I know it's from the Game Vagrant story because I'm doing these two other fan art pieces. You weren't here yet, Steph, but I got this one done. Well, I gotta paint it still, and then I'm working on this one. But I wanted to do 3 fan art pieces for that, and probably post them. I don't know if I'll make prints out of them, only because it's such an obscure game from like the PS1 days, right? And I personally think it's one of the best games ever made, but I also know that it is not like very, how do you put it? It's not like a lot of people are aware of its existence, or not a lot of people played it. It's not like it was like a major popular game, but also it was highly regarded for its localization. And I would say I am in remote acquaintances with the translator of that game, a guy named Alexander O. Smith. I actually interviewed him once when I was working on a video game review and news site called Game Flush, which never went anywhere, but it was fun to work on while we were doing it, right? So anyway, I'm not following some of my rules here because I'm talking while I'm drawing. I always tell my students not to erase, and then this is what I'm doing now with my time, is erasing. Is that still too bright? I just want to make sure everybody can actually see my pencil lines. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, but then that shows the shadow. There are no easy answers when doing this. No one knows what is but you and the guy who asked for the sketch. But you and the guy who asked for. Oh, this isn't what the guy asked for. Actually, I said if my friend Steve shows up, I will work on a sketch that he talked about. But he has not shown up. So there's no reason for me to accommodate him if he's not going to be here for anything. Yeah. He said he doesn't usually like to watch live stream. What I had told him, and actually I might as well throw that up too, right? I had asked him very kindly if he would subscribe to .com at my my YouTube channel, where this is also where this is also streaming. So yeah, if you could do that, even if you're watching this on Facebook Live, just going over to YouTube and giving me a little bit of a follow over there would be nice. Just because I do want to build that channel with things such as educational videos. And maybe I'll talk about the history of Ticonderoga pencils over there, stuff I could maybe give some art supply history lessons, although I'll have to use sources that are much better than Wikipedia as my sources at that point. I mean, I do. What are you on YouTube? It's right there. It's on the I could drop it, I'll drop it in the comments. I think that comes up everywhere. https://youtube.com @JMDeSantis. Oh, /@JMDeSantis, right? That should take you there. Just subscribe to the channel. Turn the notifications off. You don't even have to. Oh, wow, look, that goes up in both areas. Posts on YouTube and Facebook, I can say. Just turn off notifications. You don't want to hear from me, don't worry about it. Just get the subscribers up, because I think I only have 13 as of today, right? Something like that. That back tattoo is going to be a problem. Anyway, yeah, so the translator of this game, Alexander L. Smith, very nice guy. I've only interviewed him and spoken to him via messages and emails. But though when I did interview him, it was actually, it was like, what was that video calling thing that nobody uses anymore? Not Discord. Making me work here subscribing. I appreciate your due diligence there. While I'm at it, even though the show, even though it's my show, if the tattoo is worth turning around, don't you know, Steph, I never make things easy for myself. That's why I keep redrawing the same pieces over and over again. Right. So, what was I going to say? I got to figure this out. Usually, that's the funny thing about these live streams. They're almost like me doing like a piece at a convention where, and what I mean by that is like, I don't do a sketch before. So like, I'm just like going straight into it. Typically, I don't know if some of you guys do it, but I usually do like a however that's called, thumbnail sketch, little tiny thing, figure it out. Actually, you know what? Now that we're at it, might as well. Probably be better if I did something like that, right? So that I actually have an idea of like how much space I need. I think he's going to need to actually be smaller on the paper. But what the hell could I put in the back of him if that's going to be the case? I got to get something over here so that it's at least like an interesting or to center him and have somebody else closer. That's the idea. Redrawing heresy. Figure it out in the brain, less pencil sharpening. You know what though? I can't do that stuff. I'm a planner. Even when I'm writing my books and comics and novels and books was kind of redundant, right? Short stories, whatever. I usually do an outline, and I do that only because it is, oh man, I really would like it better if he was kind of turned toward the viewer. Anyway, we'll do this. Problem is, like, as I said, I usually do start with the midsection anyway. Outline, waste of time. What is this composition? Who has time for that shit? Yeah, I do. I do concentrate on composition, man. Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's just how it goes. It's the way my mind works. Like even when I'm doing breakdowns for a comic and writing the script, I'm always thinking kind of cinematically. I don't know that it translates because how many people are talking about the cinematic qualities of J.M. DeSantis's comics? But still, it's just the way I tend to work with it. I got it. Okay. I'll do that a little later. Okay, so. Right. So as I said, layouts, I mean, sometimes they are full stick figure kind of, what am I trying to think of? Those things I used to practice in college more. I teach them all the time. Anyway, yeah, or sketches. I sketch out the basic form. I'm drawing his legs in of it, even though he of J.M. DeSantis is legendary. That's funny. That's funny. I wish it was. I wish people would talk about me like they talk about Christopher Nolan. That's aiming too high, though. Just less cinematic composition equals more drawings. You're probably right. However, we all have the things that we like to do. And, I've been working on for a while now more dynamic sorts of compositions. I got to pull up another reference here. I know, it's always like really interesting when I'm doing this. 5 likes, 2 people watching. Really great. And story. Sydney. Intro. Okay, images, right. There's that one spot. Oh, yeah, but that's like so much closer to his. I see. Okay. I'll fix that. Anyway, more references. Is this the Sistine Chapel? Listen, man, this is what you came for. You don't want to watch this damn live stream. I'll just cut it off right now. No, I won't. Yeah, you can. I am Italian stuff, so maybe there's a little bit of Michelangelo in me. I don't know. Probably not. But, So let's see. Actually, the finger in that reference is actually closer to his face than the whole hand is. He is a little bit lower down here. Okay. Right. He's got these big old claws on his. Next week, JM draws upside down. it's funny you say something like that because I am just the type to want to do like challenges like that. Right. You know, I'm not averse to that challenge. I really am not. It is certainly it's a thought, and a thought that I don't think we should give up on yet. It could work out pretty good. Okay, so this one's going to be a little tough. I'll have to come back to it, but he's kind of got these like oddly shaped mechanical arms. So this guy here might come out like this. His claws are kind of like Freddy Krueger's, so and then back here, I remember it's kind of like that. Tattoo is going to take a while. I will have to come back to it later, but I at least know the basic shape. It's essentially this, right? So, is that even on camera or is something blocking it? I don't know how much you guys can actually see my lines. I upped the, what is that? Mechanical arm, so a transformer. Actually, it's a slightly medieval story about black magic, this game, and also psychological trauma and memories. So it's an interesting combination of themes. But yeah, he has mechanical arms. I guess they're magical. It's a little faint. I don't know what to do for it. Like, this to me is still a dark line. I mean, if I bring it really close, right? I mean, that's the darkest I can get, and it's still like, but oh, sorry, that's my chin. Really nice. Seeing all the hairs on my chin. All right, no, but yeah, I guess it is a little faint. I'm looking a little closer at my screen just so I can see how faint, but sounds deep. Can you shoot things, blow things up? Can I shoot things and blow things up? Well, I do not own a gun, neither have I ever trained with one, so I can't shoot anything. Blowing things up. Oh, actually, it's funny you mentioned this, right? Oh, remember, I'm always talking about that dumpster fire, right? This one was going to be. I found this. The line you just showed us, we can see. Okay, well, that is dark. That's me like digging into the paper and scratching it. Just so you know, Nancy. The only thing I can possibly do is just go closer to the artwork. Maybe. Of course, this is going to be more in my face, but we're not really here for my face. We're here for the drawing aspect of it. Right. But now, Steph, unless I need to change the quality of this camera, but I thought it was looking pretty good. Okay, but yeah, while we're at it, Steph, blowing things up. Well, you know what? We're on this now. So you can mean in this game whatever you want, but I'm showing you this. So I was subscribed to, what is that? Yeah, we're not drawing again, right? Steph's gonna start getting ahead. It's visible. Keep drawing. Okay, but yeah, can you blow things up? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I was subscribed to one of those gaming loot box things that they'd send you in the mail, and I've never played. God, what is that game? Now I can't even remember. Does it have a logo on it? Sorry, I got my thing in here. Anyway, I have an actual like plastic dumpster. It's actually like a stash thing. What is that? Whatever that's from. But I actually thought about stuff when things are really going off the rails. That's why this was in there. This is what is that? Incense. I was thinking about lighting this thing on fire. So I actually have like a dumpster on fire during the live streams, just for a little extra pizzazz, right? I don't know. Nice. But I did finish the dumpster fire design I was doing, and I'll probably be uploading it onto Redbubble soon. So that'll be available on t-shirts and stickers and probably your morning coffee mugs and stuff like that. So actual dumpster prop. Yeah, I forgot I had it. What is that from again? I'm trying to remember. It's a game with a number at the end, but not because it's Fallout 76. That's like a Fallout 76 prop. Yeah, but I forgot I had it. I don't play Fallout. I was like, oh my God, I have a dumpster. I could light it on fire at some point. You know what? Let's do this on a live stream. I'll probably put it up somewhere else too, but if I can get to 1,000 subscribers, I will make a video where I light the Fallout 76 stash case, which I'm going to pretend is a dumpster. I will light that dumpster on fire, on camera, for everyone to watch. 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, though. Well, now I'm going to really play it like a true YouTuber, giving you goals for videos about things. That's an easy one, right? I mean, some people are like, yeah, I'm going to, I don't know, go to Vancouver and jump off of a waterfall or something. I don't know. 1,000 subscribers. Way to set the bar low. Well, you know what? I'm not going to get to 1 million off of a dumpster thing. Look, you know what? No, that's illegal. That's highly illegal. I was going to say if I get to 1 million subscribers or even 500,000, I'll go light a real dumpster on fire. But I really shouldn't be committing crimes and documenting them on the internet. That would be a bad idea. Oh my God. But yeah, no. Bar low, 1,000 subscribers? What do you want? 2,500? 2,000 subscribers? 2,000 subscribers. 2,000 subscribers. We'll start there. And I will light that plastic. I'm not getting to 1,000 anytime soon. There's no way. There's no way I am. But I'll just keep throwing it out there, like in every video I post and all my live streams, and then you can just keep hoping that'll get lit up. I mean, aren't we all waiting for that dumpster to get lit up? Tell all your friends. I will light the plastic dumpster on fire for 2,000 subscribers. Not one less, since Steph didn't feel that 1,000 was good enough. No, I won't have 1,000 anytime soon. Okay, so thing is, you don't actually see the man's legs because he's got kind of this like skirt thing going along the back here. But I will say this. This is what I always say about like drawing stuff that you don't see. I would still draw his legs and everything in there just so that I know where everything goes before I start putting down the lines that are going to block it. Right? Helps out. I guess I could put his wyvern in the back there, right? Staircase, all that stuff. Yeah, that'll probably work. Let's go with that. He has longish blonde hair like every pretty boy. I actually, oh my God. I had a student call me a pretty boy once. He was on the spectrum, though, and I half don't think he knew what he was saying, but I had to tell him, you know, I don't know if you understand what that means, but Skirt Mechanical R's, was this a legitimate video game? Yes, it's called Vagrant Story. Vagrant Story. It was created by, man, I'm going to botch it because it's a Japanese name, Yatsumi Matsuno. Yeah, Pretty Boy Jam. And then it was translated by Alexander O. Smith. And the artist for it is Akihiko Yoshida, who is actually one of my favorite artists. Yeah, believe it or not. Well, you probably would believe it, right? Like most of my favorite artists are not American comic artists. Big surprise with the way I draw, right? Yeah, I don't know. I had comic artists. My online name should be Pretty Boy. You know, that's kind of funny. Maybe I'll make another account. That'll give me one more subscriber to my YouTube. We're closing in on 2,000 for the dumpster fire. Those are awkward to draw for bending because he doesn't really bend. I gotta find a actual. There are shots of him bending his arm. I am 100% sure, but yeah, like when he's holding his stomach when he got shot with a crossbow. Yeah, I love it when the art just slows down for looking at references. But, you know, it's a necessity. Sorry if you don't agree, Steph. I haven't seen if you do it or not. I can't, his freaking, damn it. I found one where he's bending his arm, and of course it's like, Euro and heavy metal artists. You know, they are very, actually, you know what, it's funny you mention that. There is a comic. It's a Lobo comic, right? Because Beasley reminded me of Lobo. It's a Lobo comic, and it was called Fragtastic Voyage. My same professor I was talking about last week, Floyd Hughes, he showed me that comic when I was in college, obviously, since he was my college professor. And it's done a lot in watercolor. And that was actually my first, and I loved the way this looked. I actually found it recently. I don't want to kill the live stream and have to go look for it again, but maybe I'll bring it out next time. But yeah, when I saw the pages on that, if you look it up, it's Lobo Fragtastic Voyage. It is just beautifully watercolored. And that was I think my first real look at what a comic could look like in watercolor. And then that was it for me. I made my life, I don't want to say harder, because here's the thing. I'll be posting stuff soon that I did computer colors of, because I've been getting stickers ready, including that dumpster fire and some other things. Expect some Nosferatu stuff, because why not? You know, if you know me, I like that stuff. I'm just going to have to end it at some point here looking for this bent arm of this guy. I cannot believe it's so hard just to find one damn reference. Fresado's Keepers of the Master. Fresado's Keeper of the Master. I will keep an eye out for it, Steph, because I'll check it out. But yeah, check out the pages for Lobo Fragtastic Voyage. You'll see what I mean. It's just really nicely watercolored, different than me. Mazer? Keepers of the Mazer. Okay. All right, I gotcha. I will now very much remember it. I'm just not going to I'm just going to have to get a good look at his arm and figure out where that, yeah, it's right in that weird spot. It would be there somewhere. I'll DM you. You can DM me. Yeah. That's fine. I'm not going to be able to look at the DMs while I'm on the, I actually had George Medina just text me about something for a job I'm working on. Actually, I probably should have dropped his name. Well, it's not a big deal. It's for I'm doing some editing stuff, and he's lettering the book. And he texted me, but I'm in the live stream. I can't answer him. Sorry, George. I am really trying to find a good reference for this guy's arm so that I can just draw it bent. I know. I am, oh God, make his arm straight already. I cannot do that, Steph. I cannot do that. It's going to have to go the way I've got it right now. Okay, at least I have an idea of the arm. So there are some mechanical bits here that look like they could be bending, and then this part right here. Okay, I'm still gonna have to draw it like a regular arm and then just like break it down later. Just the way these go. That kind of comes out a little bit. Okay, so yeah. And that one will move slightly. Okay, so yeah, we'll get back to the arm later. Put a cloud in front of his arm. There you go. See, now we've entered the interactive phase of this live stream, and it's all going downhill. Thank you. Yeah, you know, on the fly, I can take requests like that, I guess. The cloud's coming out, but you know, it went quick. See, I can draw really fast when I need to, if I need to. Okay. I'm gonna have to fix things with his face at some point. He has very pointed eyebrows, I know. Me looking too much. Okay, so we got this. You know, I'm not sure how to do a finger wag when you are static. That's always hard. That's why, you know, dynamic poses help, Steph, and that's why composition helps, because I can imply, I'm sorry, I'm sounding very condescending. I'm joking around with you. I'll just stop. You know. All right, so here we go. I don't want to be even fake mean to Steph. And Carrie have been so good tonight, even though it's probably just the two of you watching at this point. We're already at 45 minutes. Now, you know what? I will say this. This is more of how I thought the first live stream was going to go. A little bit less interaction and a little bit less people coming. So, you know, started off strong. It's all downhill from there, right? No, it'll be fine. The thing is, he's very effeminate. So, because this isn't my like, Carrie adores you, me. You know, that's nice stuff. I really like you. It's not like, technically, I mean, you know, it's probably only a matter of like months, but I have known you longer than Carrie's known me. Like, I've known you longer than I've known Carrie. So I guess time with friendships doesn't mean anything to you. It's just whatever. I'm terrible. Although, you know, in all seriousness, I do wish you guys were doing more shows where I was going to be at this year. I know I'm doing a lot, so technically that's both easy and hard to do. But man, you know, it's always nice being around you too. It's a fun time. And that's the truth. That's speaking from. Some weeks we have less. Some you just stream and they will come. Well, that's why I decided to stream and upload to YouTube, because although I know I'm not going to get a lot on the rewatch, I just feel like at least it's not like a wasted video. And you know, if anything really cool happens, I mean, StreamYard saves it for me. I could always like edit some bits down and say, hey, here are highlights from live stream number 62 where I was by myself, but you know what? I got a lot of good drawing done. We're not even close to 62. If I make it that far, I will light something on fire. I don't know. People are going to think I'm a pyromaniac now, which is not, absolutely not true. But, talking about lighting all these things on fire. Okay, what do we got? Carrie is making me go to Terrificon so she can see you Friday. Just Friday? Actually, you know what? Friday's the better day, right? Because not as many crowds. And how did I lose my utility knife already? Not as many crowds. I'm just hoping to get you to get an arm done by then. That's great. I love that. You're not wrong, though. Listen, these things start out slow, but then they come together. I had this long period of time where, like, let me put it this way. I was reading comics when, I guess, like all young kids, I started on X-Men, and I was a big Wolverine fan when I was, like, a young kid. And then I discovered Ghost Rider. And that was during the Dan Ketch years, which was why it was, like, a thrill to finally, like, meet and speak to Howard Mackey recently. So yeah, I read Ghost Rider during, I barely drew anything. I know, but see, like, do you see how perfectly microscopically thin I keep that point? Like, that's why really like a very fine tip. Things are not going well. I have to erase this again. Something. It's the pressure, man. It's the pressure. I mean, look, I'm keeping the pencil moving, Yeah, it gets a little bit closer to his lower section, let's say. But yeah, what was I saying? And then, of course, I got into Spawn with, here comes Cirilla. I got into Spawn. Because, and none of those are like real, like true superhero books, right? Yeah, Ghost Rider and Spawn, and Cirilla's moving the camera around with her tail. And then I got into Battle Chasers and Crimson, and then pretty much when Crimson ended and Battle Chasers wasn't continuing, I stopped reading comics. So all my art influences once I got to my teenage years were video game art, which was like just a totally different thing. All right, she's going to knock that cover off. I had a cover on my light so that it didn't glare in the front camera so much. Hey, Cirilla. See, this is how I don't get as much done. Hey, Trisha. Thank you. My daughter Victoria said to tell you hi, and I hope you're enjoying your summer so far. Yeah, I had Victoria this year. I hope she's doing well. She really seemed to enjoy art despite her class. Actually, most of her class was good. I never read comics. When you were younger, stuff you didn't. Yeah, Trisha, tell Victoria I said hi. Really. Yeah, I read them, and I read my brother's Spider-Man comics sometimes. Yeah. I think I ended somewhere around the Scarlet Spider's creation, which I know it's like a little blasphemous to say, but I really see this is what she'll do. She'll start chewing on my art supplies. See? Yeah, there you go. There. This is what happens at the art table all the time. I'm trying to get things done. She'll just be sitting there, right? Okay, now she wants to get pet. It is, she told me all about the classmate. She enjoyed your class very much. She is a sweet baby. Yeah, she is. She's nice. Trisha, who's in the comments, I had her daughter this year in my Art 1 class. Nope, D&D and heavy metal cover. Oh, you know what though? I'm forgetting about that, right? Um, you mentioned that. I think I've talked about how mom was not supportive of me playing Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know if I talked about it on a live stream. She wasn't into the Satanic Panic. It just was other, let's say, family issues that made her think maybe it wasn't a good idea. But I did play Magic the Gathering, and I will say that stuff. Those cards, the artwork was just so good. And honestly, like I bought some newer card sets recently because some people I know are starting to get into it, including my friend Steve, who's not here. So I'm not going to be drawing his and Bison tonight. But I noticed that the ones that are painted digitally, and I want to preface this by saying, like, I do like some digital artists, and I really like some. Yeah, I still love playing it when I get a chance. If you guys ever down for some games, if you still have cards, I will totally get together with you and play. But yeah, I just find, even though I like digital art and I think there's some great digital painters out there, I don't think the card art looks as good digital. I really like the old painted card art, you know. So, you know, there's that. She took my eraser out. I'm going back to Trisha. I'm glad Victoria enjoyed the class. I am. She's a very sweet student. Very sweet. Always friendly. They had some great card art. Yeah, and you know, if you can't guess, I played the black set primarily, and then red. So I started trying to get into green, but yeah, I was very much a black and red. She's too sweet sometimes, doesn't get that from me. Well, that's probably not entirely true, Trish. I don't recall you being a difficult person when we were younger. Kerry was red and white. Red and white's a good set. My brother was green and white. No. Oh no, he was well, he'd switch it up. He'd play blue and white or green and white. I think he tried out green because of it has more creatures like black does. But man, blue can be a little problem child, big time. You know, though, we all got into stuff when we were younger. I think that's part of what being young is about, you know, testing the limits a bit, getting in some trouble, right? But yeah, I guess there's some more than others. I wasn't like a big troublemaker. Yeah, so yeah, blue magic sets can be tough because of all the spell cancellations and enchantments and stuff. But I don't know how much the game's changed. Because again, I recently bought some new cards. I think I ended somewhere around 6th edition. You know, before Wizards of the Coast really started getting out of control with how they were limiting cards and rules and everything. But yeah, I still love that game. Blue just got too complicated. Well, it wasn't my favorite set. I would say probably blue is my least favorite set. Although they, you know, I remember they had the Leviathan card. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, 6th edition. My favorite card, even though it could really bite you in the butt, and I think it has the most. I think it's like a primary example of how magic should work, like just in general. You started with fourth. I started with right after the dark, which I think was after beta. I think I guess what would have been third edition, though I don't know if it was called I don't know if third edition was called third edition. I can't remember. Yeah, and then fourth and fifth came in sixth. I know that. I'm pretty sure Carrie liked goblins and smashings. You know what, though? That makes sense because you guys did gobblers, which reminds me, one of these live streams, I actually want to do the gobblers sketch cover I have. Obviously not happening tonight, but I do want to do that on a live stream. Beta, I could still buy them. Yeah. Oh, okay, so beta was third-ish? Because I remember there was... Wait. Oh, right, yeah, because the original... You're right, it technically was third-ish, right? Because the original Magic the Gathering was just like... almost like cut down... note cards. You know, it was just like a game that they ran like at a college, and then they started getting the cards, and that was alpha, beta, fourth edition. Yeah. No, wait. I think it was alpha, beta. I think they did the dark, or maybe they did the dark after fourth edition. I know that there was Arabian Nights. I had some of those cards. There was another one. It wasn't Empires. There was another one that was like a flag, and I can't remember what the set was. Starting to slow down as I'm doing all this. All right. Okay, so that comes up like this too, right? Yeah, Arabian Nights was post fourth, I think. Yeah. I always liked the lore on the cards back then too. It's funny because that's kind of how the storytelling in Dark Souls works, and I guess, yeah, they had those theme sets. Yeah. You know, you just get like hints of stories and item descriptions in Dark Souls, and really, like, as I guess, although I didn't think of it at the time when I first got into the Dark Souls games, that really was something that kind of already existed in Magic the Gathering, because the original cards, like, they had such obscure lore. I remember being like obsessed with Urza just because, like, he was just this mysterious inventor. Yeah, I know. Just it really gave you a good sense of what the world was they were building on, but letting you fill in the gaps with your imagination, which I think is like key to really good storytelling. Incidentally, I find that something hard to do in comics because you still want to give the reader a little bit of shared almost like a feeling of sharing in the story and how they're coming up with it. You know, that's the magic of prose, right? Like, the reader will kind of imagine a lot of their own things into it. I gotta say, these live drawings are not typically how I work. I mean, an hour in, you know, I think a lot of it is because I usually work more off of references, not heavily. I won't say like I am a slave to reference. I once heard somebody say it like that. I'm not a slave to it, just because I don't completely go by the reference, but I do like, especially when I'm drawing characters, to have some really good reference for things. And yeah, I'm afraid I gotta look at this guy's arm again in another picture because this one is not good enough. It's not official art that I'm looking at there. Neither is that, damn it. Okay. Yeah, I could open in this one. So it's kind of weird to say, but that's kind of something I do think, even though he's not everyone's like cup of tea, I do think it's a benefit of Mike Mignola's style. You know, like it or hate it, there's just so much that he does with so little, since it's so minimalist. I think it does kind of get a feel of what it's like if you can get into a style. It gives you the feel of what it's like to read a book, in the sense that, yeah, you're like, you kind of have to fill in blanks with it. I think also, like, not everybody's cup of tea, but Ben Templesmith's work is kind of like that too. Like, his stuff is kind of raw and sketchy, and so there's a bit of kind of that shared point in like what it would actually look like. But, and I guess that's why I'm not always keen on every modern comic artist, because like I feel like it tries to get too polished. There's some times where I try to do that with my artwork, but I feel like once the polish comes through, it's like, well, then, it's almost like becomes like a photograph. There's no art left to the, yeah, I know, I'm erasing arms again. And stuff's going to go crazy. There's no imagination left for the viewer. And I don't want to speak poorly of an artist, so I will say that there is some of their work that I do like, but Stanley, I know his work by Art Germ, right? Like his stuff is like super, super polished. And I'm not a big, that arm took 5 years. Yeah, it seems to have, right? I'm not a big fan of his work. I think it's extremely talented, but Art Germ's work is just so, for lack of a better term, plasticky to me, because there's just like no life in it. It's so rendered. But I've seen his sketch covers, and his sketch covers look awesome because there's just more energy and they're not as polished. And I personally feel like I would love to see him do more of that as finished art rather than the I don't know how I'm going to do his finger there. Over rendered is true, and I think it's a shame because there are so many people that are so used to that type of art. And I'm not knocking on it. There's a place for it, right? There's a lot of people that like Julie Bell and Boris Vallejo. I'm not a big fan of their work because I think it's over polished. I was much more of a Frazetta guy because Frazetta just had energy and it wasn't super rendered. Another artist that really leaves stuff to the imagination. Yeah, when it's super rendered, I don't know. It's just like realistic drawing to me. I think it takes a tremendous amount of skill. I think it's impressive. I personally wouldn't want to put that kind of time into my works, and I don't. But at the same time, like as far as like art goes, it's not really my sort of thing, I'm just not big into it. super rendered art. I feel like he looks like that's better. Upper lip has to stick out more. Yeah, so he's gets too much like a photo. Exactly. And then my argument is just like, I mean, it's great. I feel like, you know what, you want to practice that in your studio, fantastic, like great, like get those skills down because they'll certainly help you draw better. But like as a piece of art, I don't know. I just always want to say, why not take you know what, Steph, there are words going through my mind right now that I don't want to say on a live stream. He probably does draw an arm faster. I don't know what to tell you. I'm still nervous drawing on the camera, which is probably why I'm, taking longer with some of this stuff. Hey, but look, at least you got me drawing almost the entire time, except when I was typing in to look up references. Normally, I just look up references really quick on my phone, but my phone is doing all the taping right now, the live taping, right? So, yeah. So there you go. He probably could draw an arm faster because he's probably just tracing it off of a photograph that he took. I don't know. Is Boris still alive though? Yeah, I guess I am a little camera shy. I mean, it's different for me. I don't mind doing all those interviews and stuff that I do on, like I've been on Mike Gracia's show and I've been on some other ones, but yeah, I guess drawing on camera while people can watch me make like 1,000 mistakes and everything and fix things as I'm going. Yeah, I guess that's a little bit of a different experience for me, right? So yeah. Oh, right. I was asking. I don't know. Is Boris still alive though? And don't get me wrong. Just because I don't like somebody, I don't prefer somebody's work. Some people get this confused. And I'm sure I'll say this many times over the course of my live streams and videos, but like that has no bearing on them as a person. I've never met Boris or Julie Bell. I don't know what they're like. Doesn't mean I don't like them. Their art is not my preferred. Well, that's why I like Drew Struzan. I love Drew Struzan's work. And now it's very photorealistic and lifelike. But he keeps a certain amount of like energy in the lines. There's still some element of what do you call that? People like what they like when it comes to art. Yeah, that's absolutely true. I think I read a quote by Kevin Eastman where it was like, if somebody like drew it or painted it and you like it, it's art. And I think that's absolutely true. I think that, I think, whatever you like is what you like. And I think it's valid too, right? Like I hate that people want to make all these arguments all the time about like what's good art or what isn't or what should be allowed or not, I don't care. You guys want to like Boris Vallejo? You can't say it. Vallejo? Anyway, you would like his work? Great. Like, that's cool. And, some people can like stuff like his and somebody like, say, like going back to like somebody like Ben Temple-Smith, and that's cool too. It's not like you have to like all artists that draw the same either. I like to think of my influences as somewhat eclectic. Let's see. He still looks too bulky to me. You have to understand that this character is actually very effeminate as far as his bone structure goes. You know, it is a Japanese game, and, you know, they do sometimes have very androgynous characters, especially with villains, you know. That does happen a lot. I like Simon Beasley and Patrick Nagel. I don't know if I know Nagel's work. I probably do, and I just don't know him by name. But I actually briefly met Simon Beasley at WickedCon because Len Danovich really wanted the exclusive print from him that they were doing at WickedCon. Len couldn't make it. So, like a good friend, I made sure I ran over to the table and got a signed copy of it. And Len was very grateful. And we just traded. I forgot how much it was, but Len gave me a printed T-shirt with the logo of our Kid in the comic called The Beast. So, you know, and I didn't know he was giving me that as a gift, so I just said, all right, so call it even. Right. We're coming together slowly but surely. Not as fast as Steph would like, but we're coming along nonetheless. Len is nuts. I love Len, though. He is nuts. But you know what? I tend to like nutty people, if you haven't noticed. Well, I'm nuts, too. I always say, like, I'm just a lunatic. But, yeah, I don't know. Normal people freak me out. I feel like, well, what is normal anyway? But I feel like normal people are just, like, too much for me there. I need to mix it up somehow. And even though, like, you know, people say I'm so calm, right. I like people that are interesting. I don't know. Life's boring without interesting people. I like unique people with needs to try decaf. Really? Like, well, maybe. I guess it depends. I don't know. I guess I've had texting conversations with him where he's a little amped up, but I don't mind. It takes a lot to stress me out, you know, and I'm not saying that he stresses you out. I'm speaking out of turn there, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't notice it that much. He's an energetic guy, you know. But actually, now that I think about it, Steph, I guess you're kind of like me. You're pretty laid back most of the time, which is also why I like you. I get a break from all the craziness around me sometimes. Here we are. That's the one I was looking for. Another reference, Steph. I know your favorite. Open image in a new tab. Yeah, that's it. Well, you know what? He is. You know, I could have just like pulled up the strategy guide I had for this game because it has all the character art in there, and that would have been, you know, fantastic for reference. But I didn't think of it in time. I wasn't sure that this was going to be the piece I was going to work on. The thing I can say is, okay, so an hour later you find the reference. You know, let me tell you. You know what? Forgot this. Give me 1 second. I'm coming right back. Where are those? They gotta be here somewhere. here. I'm still in the studio, everyone, I promise. Oh, you know what? I bet you I put it over here. All right, just hang on a second, Steph. I promise. I'm coming right back. I am here just looking for a couple of books, if I can find them. All right. I got to come prepared, you know? That's a sleep picture. I'm not going to find that one, am I? Looking for that Lobo book. First World. Not it. Not it. Not it. Not it. I'll never find it. All right. All right. I think the other one is Philadelphia. No. Can't find it. Oh, that's unfortunate. Anyway, I was trying to find whatchamacallit. Looking awesome. Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. JM leaves, same progress on the drawing. Okay. Well, I was trying to find the Lobo book, and I was trying to find the, what is it? Oh, I was trying to find the strategy guide for this. Oh, wait, is it over there? Hang on a second. Nope. Okay. Never mind. I couldn't find it. I gotta show you this guy's artwork because he's just winging artist interpretation, right? Oh, but you and I, Steph, started talking because of this. This is the Heavy Metal Magazine issue that I'm in. Of course, it's terrible artwork, right? But that's me with it's a goblin, right? Here, cover that up. Carrie's favorite. And yeah, that was it. The one time, or one of the few times I met Kevin Eastman, when he was still overseeing Heavy Metal Magazine, you know. That's still my claim to fame. The only really major thing I feel like I've done. Anyway, yeah, it's hard to explain stuff, but this guy's style, although I love his art, it is extremely sketchy. So yeah, there's a lot of interpretation you have to do with some of his lines because it's not always very clear what certain things are supposed to look like. Right. So anyway. What are we drawing on? 924. Oh, man. Okay. I need a copy of that. I think it's out of print, which is a shame, but I don't even know, you know, I think I checked their site a while ago and I don't even think it's available there anymore, you know, which is just kind of a shame for me, right? Because I don't have, I think I only have 2 copies of it. Oh yeah, that's a lot better reference. Yeah, of course. Yeah. All right, so keeping this going. See, that's why I wanted that cover on this lamp, because that's kind of down to stuff. I don't know, because I only see like one person watching, but then it says that there's other people, so I don't really know where You should have bought a bunch to sell. You know what it was, though? Okay, so here's a funny thing. When I got in it, um, I hadn't tabled at a show yet. So I bought a bunch of copies, but this is when heavy metal was also going through some like restructuring. I only just ordered a couple of copies and I told my friends to go out and buy it. And like nobody could even find the magazine because like it was at a time when you couldn't even find it for whatever reason. I didn't think to order a bunch. And then later when I started doing tables, you know, at first I was just doing it with, what is that? Just prints. And I think I did like, I brought one anthology to a table with me that I got a story published in. Or actually, the first one was just my artwork. Yeah, it was a weird time to get in. I got in right before they started restructuring. I had pitched a idea the very next year to Kevin Eastman, and he liked it. But then he kind of was stepping away from duties at the magazine before he was completely done with it. And yeah, things changed over there. It happens though, right? It just was one of those like disappointing parts in my career because I really thought like I wrote about it in my one book. But yeah, it's like I really thought my career was about to start taking off. And then a heavy metal restructure and some other places that I was involved with as far as like work went, they just all started having trouble too. And one of them closed down. That was a Lovecraft magazine. So yeah, it's like it all just kind of dried up for a little bit there. And when you're, you know, questioning if you just like missed your only opportunity. So you get older and it doesn't affect you as much. I mean, there's still disappointment, sure, but you kind of learn how to get through them a little bit better. I don't know. This is an awkward position to draw that one from. Anyway, but I can see all the, you know, I'm going to pull this up again just for a second and totally mess up the, whatchamacallit, the way that this is sitting, right? But to go over here, right? Can I get the, yeah. So this is like Akihiko Yoshida's artwork, but you can see how it's like very much like the way he's detailed. I mean, I love his stuff, but like there's a lot of interpretation that has to go into drawing his characters because man, they're just they're not easy, I feel. Although I love his stuff. But yeah, he's it's not the easiest stuff to draw sometimes, but I really want to do it because even I follow the creator of the game on Instagram, and he actually follows me back, and he's not doing games anymore. He kind of like I guess stepped away from doing them, and I feel like it would be cool if he saw some fan art come down his feed one day. Like I don't know. Maybe put a nice smile on his face. Another way to thank him for all the inspiration he's given me for all the years. Anyway. Yeah, but I find his stuff, anyway, the artist stuff, not the game creator, but the artist stuff on the game just hard to interpret sometimes because there's just so many vague impressions of lines in there. And then he does a lot of this kind of thing where it's like little hatchy lines, and then you're not exactly sure if that's just like for detail sometimes, or if it's a line for something you're sewing. I wouldn't say he's as loose as, say, Yoshitaka Amano, but DM me that character art and the spelling of his name. I'll have to do it after the live stream, but I will do that. Yes, I will do that for you, Steph. Yeah, Akihiko Yoshida. And he's gotten more clean as time has gone on, but I think when he was working on Vagrant Story, that was like the loosest some of his work looked. And so, like, yeah, it's like really hard to do. I'm surprised, like, I got these two other characters done so well because, like, well, Ashley, you see a lot of because he's the main character, but Nisa, there's like almost nothing of her because she's like just a minor character in the game, but I like her design. So, if you want to know some like obscure influences on Chadiana and her designs and stuff, this game is one of them. Because, yeah. And not so obscure, but God of War. I was really, really impressed with God of War from the first one that came out. The first, I say, because I played it from God of War 1. Okay. Anyway, let's get back. Yeah. But, like, yeah, he's got very interesting artwork. So I'm glad you like it. I think he's even moved to, well, actually, that's colored digitally too, but he draws by hand and he would scan his pencils and then color them. You just never figure out exactly. I don't really think there's any character art at the back of him, so that I do have to make up a little bit. He has these weird little things hanging off the side in that artwork. Okay. I'll figure that out later. We're getting there. Maybe on a live stream I'll actually get to finish penciling and inking a whole character. That probably will be the next step. But like I said, hey, at least I got this far because when I should switch them over because that's the ugly old version. I didn't even finish penciling this on the last live stream, so to be this far, and it's funny though, right? I guess part of it is because I've done live drawing at conventions where I draw on the spot, and I always look at that as like it's good practice. It's good practice to have a whole bunch of distractions around you and still be able to draw. But I guess on the live stream, part of my mind just thinks like, oh, but this is up for ever. I mean, you can delete videos, but really it's up forever. So if I screw up here, I guess like there's that part of me that's just thinking, oh no. Yeah, they were messed up then. I'm trying to keep on top of the comments here because I only see it's weird. I only see one person in, but there's been so many like comments, so I don't know. All right. We can get some more of this in there. It would probably be more effective for me, Steph, to actually like share my screen sometimes when, this is Cirilla. And when I moved this too. It'd probably be more effective for me to share screen so you guys can see references that I'm looking at. Yeah, because that's got to get something got loosened here. Okay, there we go. Still doing it. All right. No, I'll fix it after the stream. It still looks like it's pretty on point with where you see it from. Anyway, yeah, these come out a little bit more. We got, it's actually this way. So this is why I needed to get a good reference. Next time I'll have the references set up for what I need, maybe. It's so much quicker on my phone. I just, as a 40-year-old man, I still have, and I was not much of a phone person. No, we don't need the, well, when one of you old timers that doesn't know what character I'm talking about comes in, maybe you would like to know. I'm joking, Steph. I'm joking. It's, although, going back to a previous thing, I do hope you and Carrie are able to make it to Terrificon. It would be nice to see you guys. It's been a benefit of doing so many shows this year. I've met some new people, but I really have gotten to see a lot of people more often than I typically do, and I don't think I want to give that up. I don't know. Like, I keep thinking I want to go down to 20 next year, but maybe I'll keep it at 30. I don't know. I'm seriously having a good time this year doing as many shows as I am. I very much am. Which is funny because I remember, and I don't know if it's the reason. I personally don't want to complain about New York Comic Con this way because I don't know why anyone does or doesn't get in, but I used to get in yearly, and I do know I took 1 year off and I haven't been able to get in since. But I don't know if that's the reason why. I do, but the one thing I can say is it's funny that I'm having so much fun doing all these shows because back in 2018, I needed a year off, which is why I didn't 87 cons. We're not quite there. Draw Wonder Woman. You don't need reference pics. You know what? You're not entirely right about that. I would still be looking up reference pics for the only, Chadiana. That's it. She's the only one that I do not need a reference pic for because I know her by heart. Even though sometimes I'll make little changes on her at certain times. 87 cons. We're not quite there yet, but new challenge, right? That would mean I'd have to do some weekday cons and I'd have to do some one-day shows on the weekends and double up. Although that's something I can honestly tell you I do not like doing. I've done it twice now, and doing 2 shows in the same weekend, not fun. Not fun at all. I just have no love for doing it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to tighten this one spot here so it stops moving around on me so much. It's just like leaning in one direction. Anyway, yeah. You make changes, that's so out of character. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's just not going to do what I want it to do. I can't stop fidgeting with it. I feel like I'll get it there, and that dips, right? So that's bothering me. It's all since I moved it. This is fun. This is the kind of thing I see people doing on their podcasts or their live streams. I'm like, why? Just don't even bother. Just keep drawing and stop fidgeting with the camera. Whatever. All right. Not making it any better. Anyway, yeah. So, where are we? Yeah. You were saying making changes. I don't remember what that was in reference to. But yeah, I do want to. I think I want to keep doing like 30 shows a year. I think that would be fun for a while. 87 would be a lot because there's only 52 weeks in a year. So, I mean, I'm trying to get in. Oh, right. I was saying that I don't like doing 2 shows in one weekend, 2 different shows in one weekend. It's kind of, it's funny because like doing a 2 or 3 day show, I can do that just fine. But for whatever reason, the idea of having to pack up and then go to another show and then set up and pack up is just like, it's not my favorite thing in the world. I mean, I can't say that I'll never do it again because, I don't believe in trying to predict it like absolutely to that extent, but I probably will stray away from it. Right. That will probably be a thing that I'm less likely to do in the future. Yeah, I think I'm going to let his claws go out more apparently. Yeah, he very much has like very elongated Freddy Krueger looking claws at the edge of his fake arms, which is kind of cool. Oh, right. Okay, so that actually comes out like a bulb, right? Such unique armor designs too. But what's funny about these guys too, because this is Square Enix, right? This is who makes the Final Fantasy games. I know that in every case when Yasumi Matsuno was working on a game, his team would like fly out to an area, like they were studying like medieval French architecture and stuff for this game, and they will just like, you talk about not using reference, but they would just sit and study all the stuff there and just draw the hell out of it, and then bring that back to the studios in Japan and start, kind of reworking it into their own designs, which is kind of how I like to use references, honestly. I don't like using a straight reference. I think I said that before. I'm not like a slave to it. I like taking a reference and then creating my own interpretation from it. Hi, JM. I've been watching my stuff. Great show. Oh, that's nice that you're over there on YouTube. Thanks for watching from 2 different places and making sure I can get to that. What is it, like 400,000 watch hours or something like that, so that I can finally get like ad revenue on? That's a lot. 1,000 subscribers and like some insane amount of watch hours. This is killing me. Whatever happened that loosened this up. I'm now up to 17 subscribers. That's it. I was at 17 before, which means when you guys subscribed, somebody dropped. Here's a fun fact. I sharpen 12 pencils, then plow through them, toss them aside so I don't stop drawing. You know what? Who did I see? Oh, God, I don't even know if it was like an artist that I'm going to know by heart. But I had read there was an old school illustrator that was saying, you just go into the studio every day, and if you don't have any ideas, you just sharpen pencils until an idea comes. So, Steph, there's a method to that madness. I think that's a good way to go about it. Just sharpening pencils so that you don't have to stop. Honestly, I wouldn't have to stop to sharpen so much if I was just using my what is that thing? The whatever it is, mechanical pencil, right? God, that screen is killing me. You know what's funny now? Now I'm up to like 5 viewers. Speed is the key. It is. It definitely is. Like I said, I'm drawing a little bit slower because we're on the live stream and everything, and I'm still getting used to doing this from in front of a camera. You know what I should probably do? Draw stuff that's easier for me to draw where I don't have to look at as much reference. Because then I probably would be drawing faster on the live streams. But, then it's like, oh, I guess all I'll draw is Chatty on it. That's not true. I could draw a wicked Count Orlok quickly because we know I love to draw him. No, there's other stuff I could draw. I don't know. Lately, I feel like I want to reference my stuff more. Composition is for amateurs. You know what, though? If I was just doing like what I did with Ashley on this one, it was just like a straight on. I don't really have to compose anything. It's just like that. Like when I was doing all those headshots, there was no composition involved in that. I was just drawing straight up headshots. Count who? Orlok from Nosferatu, the silent film. And I'm telling you, that camera is bothering me so much. I'm trying not to just play with it more. But I hate that it keeps moving around on me. Like my not real, but kind of OCD is like wanting to kick in on it. I want to fix. Who are these characters? See, Steph, that's why I don't make the big bucks. That's why I don't make the big bucks. Because all I do is draw obscure characters. That's what I do. I just tend to gravitate toward and draw obscure characters from films and video games and nothing that anybody really knows. It's a niche. It's a niche. But every once in a while, I get somebody coming up to my table and they're like, oh my God, nobody has art for this thing at the show. It's like, well, there's probably a reason for that, but I do. So you can buy from me. Actually, though, like when you go to a horror show, a lot of people know Count Orlok. I don't know how you don't know the original Nosferatu, the silent film. No, I don't need to save this file. I need to open it in a new window. Thank you. God, that's such an awkward thing to draw it from a different angle. Maybe that would be slightly. Not a horror fan. Well, I am. I love horror. I know that you're a fantasy fan, which I'm also a fantasy fan. But those are like the two main things for me, right? I mean, I guess to some degree it makes sense then why like Ghost Rider, Crimson, and Spawn were like my favorite comics in early years, and why I read like Hellboy and Berserk now. It's just all darker stuff. It's funny, like, because I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan, but that's probably like the lightest of all the sort of fandom stuff that I'm into. No, that's not true. I mean, I haven't seen She-Spawn. It's cool. I like apocalyptic movies like I Am Legend. I Am Legend is a good movie. I haven't read the book yet, but I have it. But, I mean, technically it's a horror film because it's about vampires. It's about an apocalypse, but, it's also about vampires. I'm not following my own rule here of I'm trying to draw his claw rather than drawing the fingers first and then turning them into claws. It's just such a weird look. I don't know. I'll get back to it. These ones are easier. Where are we at? An hour and 50 minutes. You know what's going to happen? I'm not going to end up finishing this again. But at least I got it semi-done. You know, the original idea with these live streams was to actually sell pieces that I was doing, and then I guess I actually have to finish them to be able to do that. Book of Eli was a great film. You're absolutely right. Actually, that is a fantastic film. If anyone on this live stream hasn't seen it, you should go out and check it out. Gary Oldman, Denzel Washington, Mila Kunis. Great film. Great film. I haven't. Finishing is good for sales. Yes, of course it's good for sales. You know what, though? I told you the first ones were going to be a little bit, what do you say, like raw, right? I can't do it. I gotta try to fix this. I said that the first ones were going to be kind of raw. So, you know, they weren't complete dumpster fires, but yeah, I needed to work out some kinks. Yes, finishing stuff would be good. See? I knew it. Look at that. It got so untightened. Okay. Yeah, finishing would be good for sales. Another apocalyptic movie that I haven't watched, though, is The Road. I really want to watch it, but I have this really big suspicion that I would be a huge Cormac McCarthy fan. And so I want to read the book first. I haven't read No Country for Old Men, but I have seen the movie, and I don't know, something about just how depressing and dark that man's stories seem to be. Yeah, I just really want to get into his writing. I do have a copy of The Road, the book, but yeah, speaking of apocalyptic movies, I actually have The Road is too apocalyptic for you. Well, you know, I guess we all have our limits. I actually have an idea for an apocalyptic book. Oh, right, which reminds me, The Stand is another one that I want to read. I have a copy of it, but I haven't read it yet. So, you know, I'm keeping the pencil moving, but you know, other than fixing this hand here, chances are this is about that stage where I would start wanting to just ink things, because I usually can't just sit and draw the hell out of something. I gotta start inking it at some point. But so let's see. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm just not liking the way this hand is coming out. So let's just do what I normally would do and fix this thing. Usually I have to go that way. Right, got that there. I can go over the top. He is not raising his middle finger, even though it looks like that right now. The only thing I read anymore is reference material, art of books. Really? Steph, I love reading. I absolutely do. Although I'm reading a very boring book right now. I wouldn't say it's boring, but it's a book on self-publishing that's been on my to read list for a while, like pretty much every other book I own. And God, I just cannot get that position right, because the hand looks like this, but it's in the other direction, right? So, yeah, it's love reading, no time. I get that. I've actually been reading less lately, but I'm trying to read this book on self-publishing, but some of the stuff I know so well. I guess, it's what happens when you buy a book and you don't read it right away and it's a reference book. Then you go and you read it and you're like, oh my God, I know everything. When are they going to talk about something that I haven't learned yet? But that doesn't mean the book's useless. It just means that, I've grown past its usefulness, at least in some regards. I still feel like I need to get better at promoting, which I'm still always trying to get good at. I get people complimenting on how I promote, and then I think, well, I'm not that good at it, though, really, when it comes down to it. I am not. So, God, I've killed the paper in this area, though. I'll still be able to do watercolors on it. Yes, it will be water. Oh, that reminds me. We're getting toward the end of this thing. So I've been doing some digital coloring stuff. And I've always said this to people, because I don't do it that often. But I always say to people, because they're like, why don't you just do digital colors? Because, it's so much faster. It isn't for me. I know it's like so hard to believe, but, I keep track of the amount of time it takes me to do things whenever I do them. I keep running totals of time spent, and the amount of time it takes me to do a digital coloring job on something is almost minute for minute the same as me doing the watercolor stuff, just because I've gotten so proficient at the watercolors. So it's not going to cut my time down. It's just going to give my work a different look when I do digital. And, if that's the case, why do the digital at all? That's my opinion, but I could be wrong. All right. I still hate that hand. Man, I just hate that hand. There's just something about it that is bothering the crap out of me. Finally cursed on camera. It's over. YouTube just flagged this for inappropriate content. We're getting toward the end. Thing is, I actually feel like I could go longer, but I do have to wake up in the morning. I could go still for a while. God, that is so weird the way he's got that set up. I think it looks like there's a clasp here between those two. And then this seems to have some kind of thing going in there. Love reading anytime. Just checking to see if there's new comments. Nothing right now. That's okay. Doesn't need to be. Alright, maybe I'll stop messing with that friggin' hand now and just get on with things. It's so weird because of his style. You always pick up on these extra things that start showing up and you're like, oh, I didn't realize that, or oh, I didn't realize that one, this thing might look like that. Like I said, not as loose as Akihiko Yoshida, but still very loose style for Yoshitaka Amano. No, I got those backwards. Yoshitaka Amano and drawing Akihiko Yoshida stuff. Jesus. Maybe I am getting tired. Take those lines out. Honestly, I probably spent way too much time on him. And should have been working on some of the background elements. Although I wasn't going to put much of a background in on him, and it wound up being a composition where I was going to need it. I know Steph's favorite word, composition, but I can't find, because I can't. I seem to have lost my eraser here, you know? The big one. I don't know where it is, but anyway, it looks like we're at about that 10 o'clock mark. So I'm going to say good night for tonight, guys. I do want to thank everyone for stopping by. I may sit up and keep working on this a little bit, but you know, thanks for tuning in. I'll be here next week, probably drawing more because that seems to be what everybody wants. And of course, I want to be doing that for everyone. So yeah, thanks for coming by. I'll be back again Tuesday, 8 o'clock. What is that? The 20-something, 24th, maybe? I don't know, whatever it is. And then, yeah, YouTube, Facebook, subscribe to my YouTube. It's up on the channel, up on the screen right now. And yeah, have a great night, everyone. See you next time. All right. All right, and the broad crack.